Nation. So, this video is about my very first experience meeting anybody from the Power Rangers. So, how this really came about was I posted a video last week about my opinions, my thoughts, my views on Jbsayzwhat selling Power Rangers to Hasbro. So, when I posted that video, the next morning I woke up and I saw that some people had liked my post, and one person that actually liked my post was Steve, who played Rocky, the Red Ranger, and the Blue Zeo Ranger who liked my post. So then, I went to his page to see who it was that liked my picture, and then when I realized who it was, that it was actually Rocky that liked my photo, like I was hyped up, I was geeking out, and then I went and followed him. And then I also looked at his page and I saw that he, Karen Ashley, Walter Jones, and Johnny Young Bosch were actually going to be here in Dallas, well, actually in Plano this weekend for Free Comic Day at a comic book store in Plano. So I made plans to go and actually try to see them. So, I woke up Saturday morning and I got my way out there. Then when I got there, it was a cool experience. It was the best experience of my life. This was the first time I ever met anybody from Power Rangers, and I just really, really enjoyed the experience. So, I talked to each and every one of them. I first started with Walter, and, with Walter, I was talking to him about, how, I was 3 years old when Power Rangers first came out, and, it was pretty cool to see somebody that looked just like me on television as a superhero, because you didn't really see too many African Americans on television as superheroes. So we connected on that, and then, I was also telling him about how I followed his career after he left Power Rangers when he did the show on Nickelodeon. I also told him that I saw him when he was on America's Most Wanted. And then, he was telling me about some other stuff that he's done that he's told me that I should check out. And I'm actually going to do that. Then I went and talked to Steve, and Steve and Johnny were sitting next to each other. So both of them, I kind of talked to them together. And I was just telling Steve, I'm like, yo, man, you're the reason that I'm actually here. And I told him how I found out about it. I told him, you like my video. Well, you like my picture about my video on Instagram. And then I went and followed you. And then, here I am. And then, I asked all of them. I asked Walter, would he be at Comic-Con, Paramorphicon? Walter said he would. Then I went down where Steve and Johnny were. And I asked both of them would they be at Paramorphicon. And they said yes. And actually, Steve told me that he's having an after party on the 17th, that Friday, after the event. He told me to come out. He would have a lot of stuff there. So if you guys want to find out more about what he's doing for Paramorphicon, you can go follow him on Instagram, and I'll put it on the screen. And, it was pretty cool. Then I went and talked to Karen. Actually, there was somebody there already talking to Karen. They were talking, it was a guy and his girl, his fiance actually, and they were talking about his wedding that's coming up and what he wants to do for his wedding. And Karen was so sweet. She was a sweet girl, like really sweet. So she sat there and talked to them for a good few minutes, and then she saw that her line was kind of getting long. And then, she was, she wanted to talk to everybody and she wanted to interact with everybody. Then I went up and I met her, and I just told her, man, you were my childhood crush. And all I wanted to do was just shake her hand and meet her. And she said, she was happy about that. And when I said she was my childhood crush, she was like, I'm not anymore. And it was just really funny and really cute. And then, in the process of talking to her, she had little memorabilia, little stuff down there that they would sign and all that kind of stuff. And I saw some stuff for Power Rangers the movie. So I asked her about that, and she was telling me about, that whole experience that when season 2 ended of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they went to Sydney, Australia to film Power Rangers the movie. She said it was only supposed to be two weeks or so like that, but it ended up actually being 6 months that they stayed in Sydney filming the movie. And then I asked her, well, because, the photo that she had was this ending scene when in the movie when Zordon was dying and they came back with their ninja powers and they, all formed that circle around him. That was the picture that Karen had on her, in front of her that I was looking at. And I asked her, I'm like, well, what were those suits like in that movie? She said they were very, very hot. And, her and Amy Jo's had corsets in the back. And, that was pretty much the conversation that I had with Karen. And again, they are all super, super cool. This was for me to actually meet them, it was more phenomenal. And you know, I was on the fence about going to Power Morphicon, but now meeting them, it made me even more stoked and want to go to Power Morphicon. So if anybody is going to Power Morphicon out there, leave your comments in the comment section, like this video, and then I will actually post at the end of this video. You'll see you'll see everything that happened throughout the course of the day. And again, this was so fun. Like, if you've never met if you never met anybody from Power Rangers, I would suggest that if they have anything in your city or close to you, definitely do it because it's well worth it. They are super cool. They're down to earth, and I had a blast. So what's up, Ranger Nation? Today I am heading out to meet some of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You got Steve, who played Rocky, Walter Jones, who played Zach, Johnny Young Bosch, who played Adam, and Karen Asheville, who played Aisha. So they're in Plano, Texas today. So I'm heading out now to go meet them, and I'll chronicle what I'm doing today.
Yeah, it's not this one. It's not this one.
Got like a kid in the candy store, freaking out. Low key, high key, freaking the fuck out in this bitch.
So it's like, yeah, so they kind of like shoot
When did you finish it? 7.5 years ago. I mean, he's still running strong. He's running great. Any maintenance you have to do on him? The only thing that's ever happened was some kids.
Young Bosch, who played Adam, and then Walter Jones, who played Zach, the hip hop keto. Like, man, this is a freaking dream to sit here and actually be able to meet some of my favorite Power Rangers in person. So I'm freaking out. Woo! It's hot as fuck. For this to be my first time ever being in the presence of any of the Power Rangers, it was more phenomenal. Each one of them said that they will be at Power Morphicon this summer, so it looks like I am going to try to be at Power Morphicon myself.